There is a wall behind the student dormitory, and a few bricks have been placed in a corner, so you don't need to think about it to know what it is for. Seeing the fat man Zhao Yuanhao at the same table stepping on the bricks with an agile movement that didn't match his figure, and with his hands propped up, Chuan Yu was a little surprised. "Fatty, look at your skillful movements. Isn't it the first time you've climbed over a wall?" The fat man turned his head and smiled. "Don't talk nonsense. Hurry up, there will be no seats in the internet cafe if you go late. This is the first time you have climbed over the wall, right? Do you want me to pull you?" Chuan Yu pouted. "It is indeed the first time for me to climb over the wall, but at such a height, do I still need someone to pull it?" I saw that he didn't even step on the brakes, took 2 steps back, then jumped up at an accelerated speed, grabbed the top of the wall with both hands, and with the support, the whole person fell onto the wall. The action is smooth, in one go. Fatty's eyes glowed from this beautiful movement, and he said with a smile, "Your physical fitness is good. You were born to climb over the wall." "Fuck off." Chuan Yu cursed with a smile. A few minutes later, the two came to an internet cafe. As soon as he entered the door, he saw a lot of people. Chuan Yu glanced at it and couldn't help but be surprised. "Good guy, there are so many students. I am a student myself, so I can tell at a glance that some of the people sitting in the internet cafe are playing games, some are chatting on QQ, some are watching movies, and most of them are students." Chuan Yu even saw a row of elementary school students, not tall, wearing school uniforms and red scarves, all playing games, shouting at the top of their voices, "This way, Wan Qiang, hurry up. I'm coming. Xiaodong, you are stupid, hit him quickly." The fat man went to the front desk and turned on 2 machines, pulled Chuan Yu to sit down, and waited for him to open the game, enter the account number, and turn his head to look. Chuan Yu was actually watching the NBA game. "Chuan Yu, what do you mean?" The fat man said angrily. "What are you looking at in the NBA? Quickly open CS, let's form a team and start right away." "What's so interesting about CS?" Chuan Yu curled his lips. The fat man looked Chuan Yu up and down. He was 1.8 meters tall, well-proportioned, and he was so agile when he climbed over the wall just now, so he couldn't help asking, "Do you know how to play basketball?" Chuan Yu didn't take his eyes off the screen. "A little bit." "Ever played a game?" "No." Fatty was a little speechless. "I haven't played a game yet. It seems that your knowledge a little bit means that you can't." Chuan Yu didn't explain, just stared at the computer screen. The game played inside was the Lakers versus Celtics. Kobe fought against the Big Three of the Green Army. A straight back jumper. Swish. The ball goes in. It's really picturesque. Chuan Yu slapped his thigh, raised his hand, and made a shooting motion. His wrist shook, and he let out a swish sound, thinking to himself, "I don't know when I will be able to be like Kobe." A fadeaway jumper. The fat man took a look, struggled for 2 seconds, and finally decided to continue playing games. He hadn't played CS for a long time, and his heart was really itchy. "I just played CS for a while," and when the fat man was enjoying himself, a loud voice suddenly came from outside, "The student union is here." Hearing this sentence, there was a sudden silence in the internet cafe. Then there was a burst of chicken and dog jumping. "Run. Damn it, it's not the teacher this time. Did you send someone from the student union to arrest you?" A group of students surfing the internet dropped their earphones one after another. Some of them ran towards the door in a panic, only to be blocked by others, and some smart ones ran to the back door. A group of primary school students were extremely calm. Chuan Yu and Fatty were also taken aback. They saw a few students coming in at the door, and they knew at a glance that they belonged to the student union of Middle School, and they came to catch students who surfed the internet. Several people were male and female, and one of them was a particularly tall girl, who was about 1.7 meters tall. She was wearing a purple t-shirt with flower petals printed on it, blue crop jeans, and a pair of white canvas shoes. She looked elegant and refined. She stood solemnly at the door. Her hair was tied into a ponytail, her eyebrows were slightly frowned, and her pretty face was frosty, staring at the guys who were caught straight. "What beautiful women are you looking at? Run away." The fat man gave Chuan Yu a hand, turned around and ran away. As a result, he only took 2 steps when he felt a gust of wind pass by. Chuan Yu had already passed him, and disappeared at the back door of the internet cafe at a very fast speed. "Fatty, hey, wait for me." Fortunately, the two were relatively close to the back door, and they reacted fairly quickly. They ran 300 meters in one breath, turned a corner, and stopped only after making sure no one was chasing them. The fat man was so tired that he held his knees and gasped for breath. Looking at Chuan Yu again, he was calm and relaxed, neither blushing nor out of breath. "Fatty, it's time for you to lose weight." Chuan Yu pouted. I'm not fat, I'm strong." The fat man puffed and argued, remembering that he was very depressed when he hadn't even started a game of CS. "Send senior sister and Xian and the student union here. If they don't run fast, it will be a disaster if they are caught." "Senior sister and Xian?" The fat man chuckled, winked at Chuan Yu, and said, "It's that beautiful girl with ponytails, a sophomore in high school, a member of the student union, with excellent character and learning. Besides, she is not only a member of the student union, but also the leader of the school's basketball team. He is recognized as the beauty of our school. This fat man is not good at other things, but he is first-rate in inquiring about news. It's not long since the start of school. Who is more famous in the school? Who is the school belle? Who is the class belle in which class? I heard all of these. By the way," Fatty suddenly seemed to think of something. "When I mentioned the basketball team, I remembered it. It seems that in a few days it will be the freshman class competition. It is said that the coach of our basketball team will pay attention to it so that we can choose new players. It is estimated that the teacher will notify me tomorrow or the day after tomorrow. Our class is probably not good enough. There are not many people who can play. Do you want to participate?" Chuan Yu said flatly, "Not interested." The fat man only said that he wanted to participate anyway, and he didn't persuade Chuan Yu anymore. As far as Chuan Yu's knowledge level, it would be useless to participate. In the afternoon, the two returned to school as usual. As soon as I got back to the class, I heard Chojun and Zheng Wei talking about several people who sneaked out to surf the internet were arrested by the student union, and it was said that the whole school should report criticism. Fat man. Chojun was 1.8 meters tall. Looking down at Zhao Yu and Hao, he asked suspiciously, "Where did you two go at noon? Did you go to surf the internet?" Zheng Wei, who was next to him, also came over, with a gloating smile on the corner of his mouth. "Those unlucky ones who got caught. You two can't be there, right?" The fat man suddenly became a little nervous. "Don't talk nonsense. We are in school, and we didn't go there." Chuan Yu gave the fat man a hand, and the explanation was just to cover up, and we were not caught, so why are you nervous? The fat man also reacted, shut his mouth simply, and sat down on the seat with Chuan Yu. The two looked at each other with lingering fears. It is better not to do things like climbing over the wall in the future. The afternoon passed quickly, but school was still early. High school had to go to evening self-study, day students had to go to school until 9 o'clock, and boarding students had to go a little later, until 9:30. Fatty is a dormitory student, and Chuan Yu's home is not far from the school, so he didn't live in the school. So he rode his bicycle away after evening self-study and school. But instead of going straight home, he stopped on the way. This is an old basketball court. Although there are lights, but no one maintains it. It looks a bit dim, the ground is uneven, and the basketball hoop is covered with rust. The only thing that is fairly new is the red and white nets. This is what Chuan Yu pretended only yesterday. Although the old stadium is very dilapidated, Chuan Yu's face is filled with a happy smile when he comes here. This old stadium is his secret base. He will come here when he is happy, and he will come here when he is not happy. Only 4 and 10 minutes. Chuan Yu put the bike away. It was already a few minutes after 9 o'clock, and he had to be home before 10 o'clock. Taking out a dusty, obviously worn basketball from a small plastic frame in front of the bicycle, Chuan Yu rubbed it twice, holding the basketball in his right hand, just bent his knees, exerted strength, and flicked his wrist. Swish. With a soft sound, the basketball obediently fell into the net. I feel good today. Chuan Yu smiled, picked up the basketball, and returned to the position one step inside the three-point line, still shooting with one hand. Swish. Still hits. After hitting 2 shots in a row, Chuan Yu's eyes became brighter, and then he continued to shoot with one hand. His movements were beautiful, with a soft touch. With the shaking of his wrist, the basketball drew a beautiful arc in the air, and finally pierced through the net with a swish. 8 in a row. And all with one hand. If Fatty was here, he would definitely be surprised. Chuan Yu, who he thought approximately can't play basketball, is actually so good. Boom. The 9th hit the iron and failed to make it. Pity. Chuan Yu felt a little regretful, but soon he didn't care about it. He picked up the basketball again, but instead of continuing to shoot with one hand, he started dribbling the ball. He slapped the ball with his right hand to his left hip, up and into the left hand. Accompanied by the sound of bang bang, the basketball jumped like an elf in his palm, and seemed to be integrated with him in the dark night. After continuous dribbling, Chuan Yu suddenly started. Whoosh. The figure flashed, surprisingly fast. In a blink of an eye, Chuan Yu had already entered the free throw line. He jumped up, held the basketball in his right hand, and was about to send it to the basket, but suddenly stopped, curled up in the air, grabbed the basketball with his right hand, and took it back. Left hand. At this time, his curled-up body stretched out. However, the direction of the layup has changed from the right side to the left side, and with the basketball in his left hand, he made a dexterous pull-up layup. This movement is very difficult, especially the change of hands, which is difficult for ordinary people to complete. It is often difficult to get the ball back after sending it out, let alone switching to the left hand in the air for a layup. But when Chuan Yu made it, it was extremely light and easy. For Chuan Yu, this kind of action has been performed countless times, and it is nothing to him. 10 minutes passed quickly. Chuan Yu stopped, sweat dripped from his forehead, and his clothes were wet on his back. These 10 minutes of high-intensity training made him sweat a lot, but he still felt unsatisfied. He glanced at the basket again, put away the basketball, and rode away. It was almost 10 o'clock when I got home, and when I opened the door, I saw my mother Li Huilan coming out of the kitchen with a plate of dishes in her hand. Mom. I'm back. Li Huilan smiled. You're hungry, wash your hands and eat. During the meal, Li Huilan asked Chuan Yu if he was used to it at school, how his new classmates and teachers were doing, and told him to study hard. Chuan Yu responded obediently. Since his parents divorced, his mother took care of a small noodle shop by herself to help him grow up, and there were many things to worry about. So Chuan Yu has always been very sensible, and his grades are also good, but he doesn't want his mother to worry about him, so the burden can be reduced. This is the first time that I have climbed over the wall and went online like today. The main reason is that Chuan Yu is extremely looking forward to today's game. The Lakers versus Celtics, Kobe's match against the big three of the Celtics. It's too itchy to watch. Chuan Yu secretly decided that climbing over the wall is not good after all, and he should not do it in the future. If he was caught, he would be sad to let his mother know. The next day, as soon as he came to the class, Chuan Yu heard someone talking about the freshman class competition. Obviously, it was no secret. Sure enough, in the morning, the homeroom teacher notified that the freshman class competition will start next Monday, allowing those who want to participate to sign up. The fat man signed up eagerly. In addition, Zhou Jun and Zhen Wei also signed up, as well as Yu Xianyang, Wu Shi, Li Guanmao, and Wan Hongfei, including Fatty, a total of 7 people. Several students who signed up made some calculations. Fatty, Li Guanmao, Wan Hongfei, and Wu Shi all felt that their class was not strong enough, and they wanted to win Chuan Yu over. After all, Chuan Yu is tall, with a height of 1.8 meters. He is already considered tall among the first year of high school students. But Zhou Jun and Zhen Wei stopped him. Chuan Yu Guan is tall and can't play, so what's the use of calling him? That's right. Have you ever seen Chuan Yu play? No, I'm afraid he doesn't even know how to dribble the ball. If you really want to call him, don't go up and run with the ball. Isn't that messing around? Zhou Jun and Zhen Wei said. At this time, Yu Xianyang also said, Zhou Jun and Zhen Wei are right. Playing basketball requires skill, and it's not just about being tall. Besides, with Zhou Jun, Zhen Wei, and me, Wu Shi is also okay. With the 3 of you, the starting rotation is enough. The fat man opened his mouth, but thinking that Chuan Yu himself said never played a game, he didn't say anything more. The conversation of the few people did not deliberately lower their voices. Chuan Yu also heard it, and couldn't help curling his lips. Can I not play? Just a few of you. Adding 1 piece is not enough for me to fight with 1 hand. With the announcement of the freshman class competition, the competition schedule will be released soon, and the students are discussing the class competition for a while. Chuan Yu was not interested in these things, but Fatty used his expertise to collect a lot of information. Class 11 is very strong. They are all very tall. 3 of them are over 1.8 meters tall. Especially that Yang Fei, who is more than 1.9 meters tall. I really don't know what he ate to grow up. He is so tall in the first year of high school. He will not grow to 2 meters in the future? I heard that his skills are also good. He was a member of the school team in junior high school. Is difficult to deal with. Class 4 is not easy to deal with. The others are relatively average, but that Zhang Yang is a problem. He is very accurate with 3-pointers. They say that he has been assigned by the basketball team. There is also Zhou from class 16. He is 1.9 meters tall, and the key is that he is as strong as a bull. He is probably the only one who can fight Yang Fei inside. Regardless of whether Chuan Yu was interested or not, the fat man muttered next to him, but the strongest one has to be Xiao Qingyang from class 3. It is said that this guy was already a little famous when he was in junior high school, and he was known as a talented player. Powerful. Fat people are like every treasure. While talking, he still sighed, and said shamelessly, with so many masters, I feel a lot of pressure. Chuan Yu rolled his eyes, but he remembered the names of Yang Fei, Zhang Yang, Zhou Lei, and Xiao Qingyang. In the next few days, under the organization of the head teacher of Class 8, Fatty Zhao Yuanhao, Zhou Jun, Yu Xianyang, Li Guanmao, Zhen Wei, Wu Shi, Wang Hongfei, and several Class 8 students began training. In fact, it's just grinding your guns in front of the battle. Chuan Yu visited once. The people in Class 8 are not very good in terms of physical fitness or technique. Only Zhou Jun, Yu Xianyang, Zhen Wei, and Wu Shi can fight. Just the ground rules. In a blink of an eye, the weekend arrived. No. Middle School has a monthly vacation once a month, but there is a half-day vacation every Sunday afternoon. Students can go out of school to buy daily necessities, but they still have to study by themselves in the evening. Fatty went to training again. Not long after entering high school, Chuan Yu had no other close friends except Zhao Yu and Hao at the same table, so he planned to go to the old stadium to practice. When you come to the old stadium, you can hear the sound of bang bang from a distance. This made Chuan Yu a little surprised. The stadium is old and worn out, and the location is a bit off. Normally, no one would come to it except him. Someone actually played today. It was a young man, about 1.9 or years old, tall, over meters tall, with thick eyebrows and big eyes, wearing a Nike sportswear. A basketball was jumping in his hands, and he was very skilled in dribbling. The rhythm is very good. After a few steps, he retreated. His feet retreated beyond the three-point line, and then jumped up to make a three-point shot. The basketball crossed a beautiful arc and pierced through the net precisely. After that, he took a few more shots, all of which were hits. Only then did he notice Chuan Yu, and he took the initiative to invite, "Are you here to play too? I'm bored playing alone, let's go together." Normally, Chuan Yu would definitely refuse, but he has observed just now, this person is very strong, which aroused his interest, nodded and said, "Okay." The man smiled and introduced himself. "My name is Yang Mingxian, and I'm here to visit relatives. You are about the same age as me. Where do you go to school?" Chuan Yu replied, "One middle school." "Jiangning no. Middle school. I know, it's not too far from here." Yang Mingxian pushed with both hands, and passed the basketball to Chuan Yu. Since he didn't know Chuan Yu's level, his pass was not strong, but the angle was just right. The basketball bounced off the ground and was just right on Chuan Yu's waist. This is the most favorable angle to catch the ball. However, what Yang Mingxian didn't expect was that Chuan Yu just stretched out his right hand and easily caught the basketball with one hand. Then he turned his wrist over and adjusted his feet to face the basket. The ball is thrown. Swish. With a soft sound, the ball goes in. Pretty. Yang Mingxian couldn't help but his eyes lit up, praised beautiful, and said with a smile, "Look at your movements, your level is not low." Chuan Yu was immodest, looked at Yang Mingxian, and said, "I saw your few shots just now, and your skills are also very high." "Oh. Did you see it?" Yang Mingxian laughed. "I didn't expect to meet a master here. Are you interested in a heads-up game? There is no bet, just play. One-on-one. The so-called one-on-one, that is, one-on-one. The rules here in Jiangning City usually play 10 balls, and whoever advances by 10 balls wins." Chuan Yu is naturally clear about the rules. In fact, he has also played against people in the field. After practicing for a year, he started to play on some courses, wanting to verify his level. As a result, I walked several wild fields without encountering an opponent. After that, Chuan Yu lost interest in the field court, no longer went to the field, and did not participate in any competitions. He only practiced and played alone. "Ken." Chuan Yu thought for a while and nodded in agreement. At the beginning, he didn't meet a real opponent, but he felt that this Yang Mingxian was definitely a master. His strength was very strong, and he was worthy of a round with him. "Haha, come on then," Yang Mingxian said with a smile. Both of them are happy to see Lai, and when they meet a master, how can they not compete with each other? Yang Mingxian generously asked Chuan Yu to attack first, but Chuan Yu refused. The visitor was a guest, so naturally Yang Mingxian was allowed to attack first. Moreover, he also happened to see how strong Yang Mingxian was. "Bring it on." Chuan Yu lowered his center of gravity and confronted Yang Mingxian across the three-point line. At this moment, Yang Mingxian clearly felt that Chuan Yu's temperament had changed, and suddenly became sharper, like a sword out of its sheath. Yang Mingxian started to attack. I saw that his left foot did not move, and his right foot continued to touch the ground. At the same time, he grabbed the ball with both hands and shook it. He made a 3 threat, and then suddenly slapped the ball to the right. It's so fast. Chuan Yu raised his eyebrows, and was half past in an instant. The next moment, Yang Mingxian paused for a moment, leaned on Chuan Yu actively, found a body to resist, and then took a step forward, making a 3-step layup. Chuan Yu couldn't keep up. Swish. Yang Mingxian scored a layup and smiled at Chuan Yu. 1. Continue. Chuan Yu was a little surprised that Yang Mingxian, a big man in his early 1.9 meters, could be so fast. For the second ball, Yang Mingxian was still a 3 threat, and then accelerated suddenly, but instead of breaking through directly, he came forward and changed direction, with a very large range. He switched the ball to his left hand in an instant, then accelerated again, and made another layup. Then there's the third ball, the fourth ball. All are breakthroughs, all hits. His ball control is very good, his breakthrough skills are excellent, and he is very good at using his body. Chuan Yu frowned slightly. I am 10 centimeters shorter than him, and once he protrudes, it will be very difficult to guard against. One is just over 1.9 meters, and the other is 1.8 meters. The height difference is more than 10 centimeters. When Yang Mingxian's breakthrough speed increased, it would be very difficult for Chuan Yu to block it. He was a lot different in height, and it was not so easy to block the block. Besides, Yang Mingxian was very good at using his body, and he always took the initiative to find confrontation, pushing Chuan Yu over the top. Open and then layup. The score was 4-0. Perhaps because he felt that playing like this was bullying others because of his height, Yang Mingxian did not choose to break through on the fifth ball, but took a step back and shot. Swish. Still in. Come again. Chuan Yu said, his eyes sparkling. After being scored 5 goals in a row by the opponent, instead of being depressed and discouraged, he was very excited. When he met the opponent's excitement, his blood began to boil. Yang Mingxian nodded and continued to attack. This time he still chose to shoot. First he took a step to the right, then took a step back and made a jump shot. The basketball pierced through the net through an arc. Swish. Come on. 6-0. Yang Mingxian was a little embarrassed to score 6 in a row. Go ahead, don't release the water. Chuan Yu said suddenly. Huh. Yang Mingxian was a little surprised. His thoughts were actually seen through by the other party, and he immediately stopped thinking about letting go. The 7th ball. This time Yang Mingxian still chose to shoot. First he broke through to the right, then changed direction suddenly, and then pulled out. It's another shot. Chuan Yu squinted his eyes, quickly adjusted his center of gravity, jumped up almost at the same time as Yang Mingxian, and stretched his right hand towards the basketball. The reaction is quite quick. Yang Mingxian raised the corner of his mouth, not caring. I am more than 10 centimeters taller than Chuan Yu. With such a height difference, how can Chuan Yu cover it? Yang Mingxian held the basketball in his right hand, flicked his wrist, and threw the basketball. But the next moment, his face changed, and his eyes couldn't help but widen. A hand suddenly appeared in front of him, and his slender fingers touched the basketball. It's just touched a little, but Yang Mingxian is very clear about what it means. It's covered. Chuan Yu was overjoyed. He touched the basketball. Although there was only one finger, it was enough. I saw that the basketball changed direction and deviated from the basket. When the two landed on the ground, Yang Mingxian glanced at the basketball. While surprised, he couldn't help but look a bit serious, and said to himself, it seems that he didn't exert all his strength just now. In the previous few attacks and defenses, Chuan Yu did not explode with such a bounce. Obviously, it wasn't that he couldn't, but that he didn't go all out. It seems that I still underestimated you. Yang Mingxian calmed down, picked up the basketball and passed it to Juan Yu, stood inside the three-point line, opened his hands, and made a defensive move. Come on, it's your turn to attack. If it is a formal game, the blocking does not mean the end. As long as the basketball has not gone out of bounds, you need to continue to fight for the ball. But this is a one-on-one match. As long as one side completes the block, the ball will be exchanged automatically, and the ball will be given to the defending side. Juan Yu stood outside the three-point line, put the ball on his waist, kept his center of gravity low, stepped forward with his right foot, swung his upper body, and made a breakthrough. Yang Mingxian was not fooled. One hand was open to the side, and the other hand was placed in front of Juan Yu, covering Juan Yu all the time, blocking his sight. But at this moment, Juan Yu suddenly moved. I saw that he first slapped the ball to the right, and then exerted force with his left foot, keeping his center of gravity very low, and shot out like a tiger. So fast. Yang Mingxian was taken aback. He judged Juan Yu's movements, but he didn't expect that Juan Yu's speed was so fast, and he was missed by more than half of his body in just one step. After passing half of Yang Mingxian's body, Juan Yu took advantage of the situation and took a step forward. When he took the second step, he paused slightly and leaned on Yang Mingxian actively, leaning on Yang Mingxian. Smart. Yang Mingxian secretly praised him. The height difference between the two is more than 10 centimeters. Even if Juan Yu rushed over, if he made a layup, one of them would chase after each other. The second step is to slow down and look for confrontation, relying on the defender to force the defender to be unable to take off, so that he can avoid being taken off and lay up calmly. The goal is scored. The score is 1:6. 1. Juan Yu imitated Yang Mingxian's previous tone. It's still early. Yang Mingxian smiled. For the next ball, Juan Yu still made a breakthrough, the same as before. Repeat the old trick. If you want to beat me twice with this trick, then you underestimate me too much. Yang Mingxian thought to himself, retreated quickly, knowing that Juan Yu was fast, so he didn't seek to completely block Juan Yu's breakthrough, but left enough distance to prevent Juan Yu's layup. What? But after Juan Yu took a step, he suddenly changed direction. This was nothing, but to Yang Mingxian's surprise, Juan Yu's speed not only did not slow down after the change of direction, but actually increased by 3 points. For a while, Yang Mingxian was wiped clean. Swish. Juan Yu scored a layup and the score was 2:6. Yang Mingxian knew that he still underestimated his opponent. For the next few shots, Juan Yu made breakthroughs. Although he was not as tall as Yang Mingxian, with his extremely fast speed and excellent technique, he passed Yang Mingxian time and time again and scored the ball. In a blink of an eye, the score became 6:6. The score is tied. Juan Yu reminded when he returned to the three-point line. Yeah. Yang Mingxian nodded, with a more serious expression on his face, and it was beyond his expectation that Juan Yu scored 6 goals in a row. Your speed is very fast, your ball control is also very good, and your breakthrough is very sharp. But, is there nothing else? Juan Yu raised his eyebrows. It seemed that these few balls were not enough to convince the opponent. He was also aroused by Yang Mingxian to be competitive. He immediately grabbed the basketball, lowered his center of gravity, and said, "Then try something else." As soon as the words fell, Juan Yu accelerated again in disguise, breaking through from the left. Yang Mingxian immediately moved sideways and got in first. Seeing that the two were about to collide, Juan Yu suddenly turned around and turned 360 degrees close to Yang Mingxian, coming to the position facing the basket from the left end. Instead of turning toward the basket, he turns outward. This made it difficult for Yang Mingxian to block. Juan Yu turned around and lifted the ball up, holding the basketball with his right hand and protecting the ball with his left hand, leaning back slightly, shaking his wrist. Swish. Go further, 7:6. This shot is not bad. Yang Mingxian smiled. You play very spiritually, but such moves may not work in a formal game. Humph. Chuan Yu snorted, unconvinced. The two continued. On the 8th ball, Chuan Yu chose to take a three-pointer. On the 9th ball, Chuan Yu made a breakthrough, followed by a behind-the-back dribble, took a step to the side, and shot directly. Both goals were scored. The score was 9:6. There is only one ball left. Chuan Yu said. Don't be too happy, there is one more. Yang Mingxian clapped his hands. This time, Chuan Yu obviously felt that the defensive pressure was much greater. Yang Mingxian no longer had any reservations, and directly stuck to him, with one hand stuck on his waist, and the other shaking up and down, which brought great defensive pressure to Chuan Yu force. However, Chuan Yu still found a chance to make a shot, but it was a pity that with the continuous offense and defense, his physical fitness declined, and the defensive pressure increased greatly, so he failed to score this goal. Boom! The basketball bounced out of the frame. Huh! Yang Mingxian heaved a sigh of relief. He was finally on guard. If Chuan Yu scored the goal, he would lose. He went back beyond the three-point line, pinched the ball around his waist, arched his body slightly, and said to Chuan Yu, "It's my turn." Chuan Yu took a deep breath. Come on. The next moment, Yang Mingxian suddenly started and walked directly to the left. Just when Chuan Yu thought he was about to make a layup, Yang Mingxian suddenly stopped, and then half turned around, changing from the front frame to the back basket. I'll go. Chuan Yu was depressed. I'm going to play with my back. Yang Mingxian grinned, and pushed Chuan Yu to the inside by virtue of his height and weight. 2 steps later, a half-turned small throw was scored. 7-9. Yang Mingxian played with his back for the next 2 balls. Chuan Yu couldn't help but roll his eyes, thinking you were a martial artist. I was wrong. The height difference was more than 10 centimeters, and it was a one-on-one duel. Without the help of his teammates, it would be difficult for Chuan Yu to block Yang Mingxian's backup singles. Yang Mingxian scored 3 goals in a row, and the score quickly became 9:9. The last one. Chuan Yu took a deep breath, leaned against Yang Mingxian, and concentrated his mind. This is the last ball and he has to defend it. Seeing that Yang Mingxian pressed down again, he was still playing with his back. He was actually very helpless. Chuan Yu was fast and bounced well, and it was not easy for him to break through. As for shooting directly away from the basket, it is possible, but not only Chuan Yu is affected by physical exertion, Yang Mingxian is also exhausted. At this time, he feels that shooting may not be safe. After all, there is only one ball short, and if the shot is missed, the ball will return to Chuan Yu, so it is very likely that he will lose this round of heads up. I won't let you in again. Chuan Yu growled in his heart, leaning against Yang Mingxian, his muscles tensed, wrestling with Yang Mingxian. Yang Mingxian pushed back twice, feeling the strong force coming from behind him. He couldn't help frowning, and just about to fight back, he made a jump shot, but unexpectedly, at the moment when he exerted force, there was nothing behind him, and there was no one behind him. 2 people. Remove the stool. Yang Mingxian murmured secretly. Now Chuan Yu retreated directly, so that he couldn't find a physical confrontation. Instead, his center of gravity was unstable due to inertia, his feet were a little staggered, and he also had problems protecting the ball. And the next moment, Chuan Yu rushed out. Not good. Yang Mingxian's reaction was also very fast, subconsciously protecting the ball, but it was still a bit slower, feeling that his palm was empty and the ball was cut. Chuan Yu's speed is too fast. Looking at Chuan Yu, who controlled the ball, Yang Mingxian showed a wry smile. I still underestimated you. You boy is not kind. Remove my stool. Chuan Yu curled his lips. Is it kind of you to play with your back? Yang Mingxian was speechless. The ball returned to Zhuan Yu. This was the last attack, and Yang Mingxian defended it very seriously. It's really good defense. Zhuan Yu's heart is solemn, but his eyes are bright. But I will definitely score this goal. The next moment, Zhuan Yu broke through to the left, very fast, and stopped suddenly after 2 steps, holding the basketball with one hand and lifting it up. Humph. Yang Mingxian pouted. This is a fake move, and I will not jump easily. However, his expression changed the next moment, remembering the scene where Zhuan Yu was catching the ball with one hand and shooting the ball with one hand. He cried out not good in his heart. Sure enough, Zhuan Yu was not a fake move. He raised the ball with one hand and suddenly flicked his wrist, throwing the ball out in a way that was unexpected. Yang Mingxian was helpless. Ordinary people who would shoot like this, and it wasn't a hook close to the basket. He didn't expect it at all, and just subconsciously turned his head to look at the basket. I saw the basketball crossing a hyperbola, and finally pierced through the net with a swish, stirring up a piece of net flour. The score was 10-9. This one-on-one match is over. Your trick is really... Yang Mingxian was a little depressed. He really didn't expect the ball in the end, but if he loses, he loses. He shook his head and said generously, "You won." Zhuan Yu said sincerely, "You are also very strong. I can see that you didn't give your best before, or I might be the one who lost." In the beginning, neither of them tried their best, and they were testing their opponents. When they gradually became serious, they both felt the strength of their opponents. The two clapped hands and laughed. It was the first time they met today, but the two hit it off indescribably. The September sun was still a bit harsh, but fortunately, there were 2 banyan trees on the sidelines, casting a shade, and occasionally there would be leaves fluttering and falling on the court. 2 teenagers sat in the shade. "Give." Zhuan Yu handed Yang Mingxian a bottle of water, and then took out a bottle himself. He planned to stay here all afternoon, so he brought 2 bottles of water. "Thank you." Yang Mingxian was not polite, took a few sips, and said, "You seem to be younger than me. Did you just enter high school this year?" Zhuan Yu nodded. He was only 16 years old this year, and Yang Mingxian seemed to be more mature than himself, probably a sophomore or senior in high school. Seeing that Zhuan Yu just nodded and didn't talk much, Yang Mingxian didn't care. Although he has only met him for a short time, he has already seen that Zhuan Yu is not difficult to get along with, but he is not the kind of person who talks a lot and knows each other well. After thinking about it, he felt that it was time to remind him, "It's amazing that you can have such a strong strength in the first year of high school. But I think that although you play very spiritually, many of your moves are a bit too imaginative. One-on-one it's okay to pick, but it might be too fancy in an official game." Zhuan Yu was a little unconvinced, and said in a muffled voice, "I haven't played a formal game. Anyway, I just watched the video to learn. Practice alone, play alone, it doesn't matter." "What?" Yang Mingxian looked Zhuan Yu up and down, and couldn't believe it. "You mean you have never played a game, nor received formal training, but just watched videos and practiced by yourself?" Zhuan Yu looked at Yang Mingxian, not understanding why he was so surprised, and said, "Is this strange?" "Isn't that strange?" Yang Mingxian didn't even know what to say. He didn't have any formal training, didn't play a game, and he could reach such a level by self-study. This kid still looks like it's a matter of course. "I know what a genius is." Yang Mingxian was in a complicated mood. He was also called a genius, but when compared with Zhuan Yu, the gap appeared. "Whoever says I'm a genius in the future, who am I so anxious about?" Afterwards, the two chatted a little more. Zhuan Yu learned that Yang Mingxian was from the north, but his mother was from the south. This time, because his grandfather was seriously ill, he asked for leave to accompany his parents to visit him. Yang Mingxian's grandfather was hospitalized in the No. Hospital. Yang Mingxian was bored by himself, so he happened to find the old stadium near the No. Hospital, so he came here. My grandfather's condition is stable for the time being, and I'm going back to the north in a few days. Yang Mingxian suddenly said earnestly, Chuan Yu, although we just met today, I still suggest that you join the school basketball team and play more games. You are a freshman this year, so you can play in the high school league. You have such a talent, it shouldn't be buried. Basketball is not a one-person sport. Chuan Yu could hear from the words that this was a kind reminder. The two hadn't known each other for a long time. Yang Mingxian was able to say this to him, which surprised him and moved him a little. However, he didn't know how to answer for a while. Yang Mingxian smiled and didn't say any more. He can understand. After all, Chuan Yu has always practiced and played alone, has never played a game, and does not know the joy of Chaipan's arena. After resting for a while, the two returned to the court and discussed basketball. Time passed quickly, and before you knew it, it was already evening. It's already 7 o'clock. Chuan Yu checked the time. I have to go, and I have to study by myself in the evening. Nice to meet you, Yang Mingxian. It's nice to meet you too. Yang Mingxian smiled. By the way, are you free next Friday? I'll take you to a good place. Where? You'll know then. Yang Mingxian looked mysterious. Chuan Yu didn't ask any more questions, and made an appointment with Yang Mingxian to meet here next Friday, then waved his hand and rode away on his bicycle. By the time Chuan Yu returned to school, it was already dark. From the school gate to the teaching building, you need to pass through the sports field, and there are several basketball courts lined up on the side near the road. At this time, there was no one in the stadium, and they all went to self-study at night. Basketball is not a sport for one person. Chuan Yu was still thinking about what Yang Mingxian said in the afternoon. Suddenly, I kicked a basketball under my feet, and I don't know who dropped it. The outer skin has been severely worn, and it is probably too old and no one wants it. Chuan Yu subconsciously bent down and grabbed the basketball. For some reason, there was an urge to dunk in his chest. He took a few steps forward, then accelerated abruptly, bent his knees, and jumped up. He seemed to be flying. He grabbed the basketball with his right hand and dunked it towards the hoop. Bang! With a loud bang, the basketball was smashed into the basket. Chuan Yu landed on the ground, exhaled, feeling comfortable all over, and a smile appeared on the corner of his mouth. But then he heard a click. When I looked up, I saw that the backboard of the tempered glass was cracked. The crack spread rapidly, and then crashed into pieces. Fuck! Chuan Yu was startled and quickly jumped away. How did it break? I didn't use much effort myself. In fact, although the school's backboards are also tempered glass, they cannot be compared with those used in professional competitions, and there is no buffer device where the basketball stand is connected to the tempered glass. When the external force is too large, the metal and tempered glass act directly, and it is easy to break. Of course, even so, it is impossible for ordinary people to do it, because even if the quality of the rebound is poor, you must first be able to dunk. The school won't make me lose money, will it? Thinking of this serious problem, Chuan Yu suddenly panicked, looked left and right. It seemed that no one saw it, slipped away. It's just that he didn't know that he had already been seen. Under the banyan tree not far away, a tall, graceful and pretty girl walked slowly. It was an Xian, the school girl with ponytails. An Xian was delayed by something today, so she went back to school a little late. When she walked to the basketball court, she suddenly saw a person. She looked at the crew cut and the standard military training hairstyle, and knew that it was probably a freshman in high school. Aren't you going to class at this time? As a member of the student union, an Xian was about to go up and criticize her junior, but before she got close, she saw the man pick up the basketball on the ground, then speed up, start from outside the three-point line, 2 steps towards the free throw line, and then it stops suddenly, as if pressing the pause button. But at the next moment, that person hugged the basketball, bent his knees, and jumped up. An Xian covered her mouth, a little in disbelief. Is he going to dunk? Bang! When the loud dunk sound came, an Xian was sure that he had guessed correctly and read correctly. He really wanted to dunk, and he succeeded. Who is this person? It seems that he is only 1.8 meters long. Can actually dunk. And it was such a shocking dunk. How high did he jump? A series of question marks popped up, making an Xian a little confused. But at this moment, with a crashing sound, the tempered glass backboard shattered, and the glass shards scattered all over the floor. He smashed the backboard. An Xian was extremely shocked and couldn't believe it. How can that be? Who is he? At this moment, an Xian was very curious, and desperately wanted to know who the other party was, but before she could go over to ask, she saw that person running away in a hurry. Hey, wait a minute. An Xian hurriedly chased after him, but the man ran too fast and disappeared in a blink of an eye. She only saw the back of the man from the beginning to the end, not even the front. Damn it, why are you running so fast? An Xian thought of the broken backboard. Isn't it because he is afraid that the school will ask him to pay for it? She was a little dumbfounded. If it was the guys from the school basketball team, no one would have shouted a few times if they saw it. No matter how shameless he is, he might even turn himself into the school. Well, not only would he have to lose money, but the whole school would have to report it. How could the whole school not be notified of such a flamboyant matter? And this kid, he actually slipped away. Of course, rebounding is just a trivial matter, and an Xian didn't do it for it, but because she could tell that he was a good basketball player, a very good one. An Xian is also the leader of the basketball team after all, and she knows a little bit about basketball. Although it was just a slam dunk just now, it is enough to see something. Such a dunk, with a height of 1.8 meters, first of all, the opponent's bounce and explosive power are very amazing, and it depends on the stretch and proficiency of the movement. It is definitely not just as simple as excellent physical fitness. This is a master. Chuan Yu didn't know about being dunked by an Xian. When he returned to class, he thought about dunking a backboard, and he was a little entangled. Should he turn himself in? At this time, Zhao Yuanhao moved his fat face closer, and the little fat man asked curiously, Chuan Yu, where did you go this afternoon? Chuan Yu came back to his senses, and casually said, go out for a stroll. Zhao Yuanhao sniffled, smelling the sweat on Chuan Yu's body, feeling a little suspicious, but he didn't bother to ask, and said, tomorrow is Monday, and this afternoon is our first class match in Class 8, and the opponent is Class 1. Remember, go cheer me on. Tomorrow. Having said that, Chuan Yu remembered. The head teacher said before that tomorrow, that is, next Monday, the freshman class competition will start. The game is divided into 2 stages. The first stage is the group stage, and the second stage is the knockout stage. There are 20 classes in the first grade of high school, which are divided into 4 groups, A, B, C, D, 5 classes in one group, and 5 teams. First, there will be a single round-robin group match. The top 2 in the group will get the right to qualify and enter the top 8. Then the top 8 will have a cross-elimination match, that is, a 1 vs B2, a 2 vs B1, and Group C and D will also be cross-matched in the same way. 8 into 4, 4 into 2, and finally decide the champion. As for the grouping of the group stage, for the sake of fairness, a lottery was adopted. As a result, Class 8 was unlucky, and was assigned to Group B together with Class 1, Class 3, Class 11, and Class 19. You know, the stronger classes in the first grade are Class 3, Class 4, Class 11, and Class 16, and Group B contains 2. It is not an exaggeration to say that it is the group of death. After all, only the top 2 in each group can get the right to qualify, while Group B has Class 3 and Class 11, and the right to qualify basically has nothing to do with other classes. Of course, even if the opponent is very strong, the game still has to be played. What if we win? Although there is little hope for Class 8 to qualify, but fortunately, the opponent in the first game is not Class 3 and Class 11, but Class 1. The opponent is not very strong, and there is still hope of winning. Even if they can't make it out of the group, at least they won't be defeated. Let's see when the time comes. Zhuan Yu said. Zhao Yuanhao shook his head, thinking that Zhuan Yu is good at everything, but he is not very gregarious, so it's fine if he doesn't participate in the competition. Anyway, Zhou Jun and the 3 of them will not deal with him, but if they don't even go to the scene to cheer, those people will inevitably. It's going to be a while of yin and yang. I just thought about it, but I still didn't say it. Because it seems that Zhuan Yu doesn't seem to care about those people either. On Monday. Today is the start of the freshman class competition, and there are discussions on campus, not only the freshman students, but also the second and third year students. Grade 9 class. An XIN was flipping through the schedule of the freshman class competition when a girl with short hair and big eyes approached beside her. Her name is Zhou Xiao, and she is an XIN's classmate and good sister. Although Zhou Xiao's appearance was not as good as an XIN's, she was still at a 7th or 8th level, but there were a few pimples on her face, which somewhat affected her appearance. Zhou Xiao brushed her hair by her ear, showing half of her cheek, glanced at the schedule, and asked curiously, "An XIN, you still care about the freshman class competition? Is it because the basketball team wants to select new players?" "Yeah." An XIN responded, and said, "But it's not all." Hearing an XIN's answer, Zhou Xiao rolled his eyes and laughed. "Not all? What is that for? Can't it be for Xiao Qingyang?" An XIN was taken aback. Xiao Qingyang, that talented freshman in high school. "That's right." Zhou Xiao glanced around and lowered his voice. "I heard that he is a good player, and I went to see him. Not only is he a good player, but he is also very handsome. It's not long since he's been here. The little girls in the first year of high school were fascinated by him. It is said that even the girls in the second and third year of high school wrote love letters to him, but he rejected them all. Speaking of this, she blinked her eyes and jokingly said, I heard that he rejected those Ying because of you, the big beauty." Hearing this, an XIN couldn't help laughing. "What's this mess? What does it have to do with me?" Zhou Xiao said, "Why, has nothing to do with you. Xiao Qingyang obviously likes you. How about it? Do you want to think about your junior? This kind of thing is actually not uncommon. After all, an XIN is a well-known school belle in No. Middle School. She is beautiful and has excellent academic performance. There are not too many people who have a crush on her. From the first year of high school to the third year of high school, it is almost enough for a strengthening company." But an XIN didn't think it was interesting at all. She rolled her pretty eyes and said, "That's all rumors, people talking nonsense. Also, I told you a long time ago, I didn't care about it in 3 years of high school. We'll talk about love. As for paying attention to the freshman class competition, it's not because of that Xiao Qingyang, but because I want to find someone." As she said that, a figure from the back and the shocking dunk appeared in her mind. Who is he? Find someone? Now it was Zhou Xiao's turn to be surprised. She asked curiously, "Who are you looking for?" An XIN shook her head. "I don't know who he is. I only see a back." Under Zhou Xiao's questioning, an XIN talked about the scene she saw last night, and Zhou Xiao's eyes widened after hearing that. "You mean, someone dunked a backboard?" An XIN nodded. If she hadn't seen it with her own eyes, It would be hard to believe that someone could smash a backboard, and that person was only 1.8 meters tall. Just then, several boys walked in. A boy muttered unhappily, "It's really unlucky. There is only one court left, and the backboard is broken." Who the hell did it? It was fine yesterday. Some unqualified idiots like to climb up and hang on the basket to install a fork, as if they can dunk. If they keep tossing around like this, can the rebound not be broken? Forget it, let's play in the afternoon. Just kidding, didn't you know that there is a freshman class game in the afternoon? Several courts will be occupied, so there's nothing to play today. Listening to the discussion of several people, Josiah couldn't help opening his mouth. It's actually true. Now Josiah also became interested, grabbed an Exion and shouted, "It's amazing to be able to smash the basket. Who is this guy?" An Exion smiled wryly. "If I know, I still need to look for it. I only see a figure from the back, who looks 1.8 meters tall, with a crew cut, maybe a freshman in high school." Josiah muttered, 1.8 meters, that should not be Xiao Qingyang. An Exion has ruled this out. First of all, Xiao Qingyang looks 1.8 meters 3 tall, and besides, she went to class dash of senior 1 to take a look today, and she was definitely not the same person she saw last night. However, besides Xiao Qingyang in the first year of high school, there is actually such a good player. Why haven't I heard of it? In order to find that person, an Exion decided to pay attention to the freshman class competition, try not to miss anyone, and believed that he would always be able to find that person. In the afternoon, the class competition is coming. In order to increase efficiency and not take up too much study time, games are arranged on all 6 basketball courts in the school. That is to say, there are 6 group games at the same time. The match of Class 8 was on the number 2 court. Zhao Yuanhao looked around, but he didn't see Zhuan Yu, so he shook his head with a wry smile, and began to listen to the instructions of the class teacher Lu Gang. In this kind of competition, some classes have the class teacher as the coach, and some classes don't have a coach at all, and the game is over after a few players discuss it. Teacher Lu is in his 30s, 1.7 meters tall, with thinning hair and a big belly, but he is very interested in basketball. It is said that he played at a certain level when he was young. In this freshman class competition, he took the initiative to take on the task of coaching. At the same time, an Exion also arrived at the basketball court. Senior in Exion is here too. Senior in Exion is so beautiful. She is indeed the recognized beauty of our school. She is the legendary goddess of ponytail. You said, Senior sister in Exion came here for Xiao Qingyang, right? This is really possible. Xiao Qingyang is the only one in our freshman year of high school who can attract senior sister in Exion. Not to mention, senior sister in Exion is the leader of the basketball team, and Xiao Qingyang is definitely going to join the team. For the basketball team, there may be hope in the future. Impossible, senior sister in Exion is not good enough for anyone but me. Fuck off. Seeing an Exion coming, the boys became excited. Some people even subconsciously trimmed their hair, trying to make themselves look more handsome, and then looked at the goddess, showing a bright smile. Even the players who participated in the game are no exception. Stadium 5. Xiao Qingyang was warming up. He couldn't help but stop when he heard the movement, looked over there, and his eyes lit up when he saw an Exion. I saw an Exion staying on the number 1 court for a while, then went to the number 2 court, shook her head again, and arrived at the number 3 court. Walking along the way, her eyes swept over the participating players, and she didn't even let go of the onlookers on the sidelines. She paid attention to those who were about 1.8 meters tall. It's a pity that from court number 1 to court number 4, there are some people who are 1.8 meters tall, but none of them match the figure she is looking for. Soon, we came to court number 5. Senior and XIN. A group of boys gathered together. The girls pouted, envious and jealous. Some people murmured in a low voice, "How beautiful they are, and how long their legs are, but why they are even bigger than me there is really annoying." "Yeah." An XIN smiled and nodded, looking at a group of players. "Here is Class 3 vs Class 19. The players from the two classes each occupy a half of the court and are warming up." A group of players also looked at an XIN, some with admiration in their eyes, while others were too shy to look at her. Xiao Qingyang also looked at an XIN, and couldn't help but wonder, did she come here for me, to watch my game? It's just that an XIN's eyes swept over him, but didn't stay on him. This made Xiao Qingyang's eyes dim, and he couldn't help being a little disappointed. Could it be that he was wrong? Didn't she come to watch his game? An XIN, still haven't found it? Zhou Xiao asked next to him. No. An XIN shook her head. Let's go. She didn't come to watch the game, nor did she come to inspect the players. Although she is the leader of the basketball team, this kind of thing is not her job, but the coach's job. The reason why I came here was just for that back view. Unfortunately, still can't find it. Did I guess wrong? The other party is not a freshman. An XIN frowned. Or, there is no competition from their class today. I couldn't find anyone, so I was a little disappointed, but I can only talk about it later. Just like that, an XIN walked around the court without stopping for anyone, and left very quickly, which made many people feel disappointed and at the same time feel a little lucky. Soon, as the game started, the basketball court became more lively. Xiao Qingyang withdrew his gaze and began to devote himself to the competition. He believed that with his performance, Senior Sister and XIN would definitely look at her differently. At the same time, Chuan Yu was standing on the steps in the distance. A row of banyan trees were planted above the steps, and the basketball court was below. He stood under the banyan trees, with his hands on the railing of the steps. Today is the freshman class competition. Chuan Yu also came, but he didn't crowd around the court like everyone else. The game has begun. Court number 2, the game has begun. The match between Class 8 and Class 1 was on court number 2. Chuan Yu was watching, when Yu Guang suddenly saw two girls approaching from the corner of his eyes. He couldn't help but take a second look, because one of the girls was at the internet cafe 2 days ago. I've seen it before. It said that she is a school beauty recognized by No. Middle School. It is beautiful indeed. It's just that she seemed to have something on her mind and didn't notice Chuan Yu. An XIN would never have imagined that the person she was going to find was right in front of her right now, and she would just pass by Chuan Yu like this. The two elder brothers and girls walked by. Chuan Yu also looked away. On court number 2, the fat man Zhao Yuwenhao caught the ball in an open space, but the shot missed a long way. Chuan Yu couldn't help but curse inwardly as he watched. This fat man knows how to brag. Among the few players in Class 8, Zhao Yuwenhao can dribble twice and can shoot, but it's up to him whether he makes it or not. Among the other players, Zhou Jun played the best, followed by Yu Xianyang, Zhen Wei, and Wu Shi performed poorly today. As for Li Guanmao and Wang Hongfei, they haven't gone yet. Although Li Guanmao and Wang Hongfei were not on the field in Class 8, after watching Chuan Yu for a few minutes, he couldn't help shaking his head. Class Dash will probably lose this game. The strength of the opponent Class 1 is indeed not very strong, but it is still above Class 8. After a few minutes, Class 8 has already fallen into a disadvantage. Although Chuan Yu has never played a game, he has watched a lot of game videos, and he still has a good eye. The positions in Class 8 are not dominant. If Wu Shi can perform well some, and maybe a chance. It's a pity that Wu Shi's performance today was very poor, while the players from Class 1 who played against him played very well. The result is self-evident. Sure enough, when the game ended, Class 8 lost to Class 1. Class 8 lost in the first match of the freshman class competition. When they went to study in the evening, Jojun, Yuxian Yang, and Zheng Wei returned to the class. They still looked unconvinced and muttered in their mouths. Unfortunately, I almost won. Yeah, if there were a few fewer mistakes, I would have won. It's all the fat man's fault. He said that he is a master, and this is called a master. He couldn't even handle the ball badly, and he was cut off several times. I also missed several shots. The 2 balls I passed to him had such a good chance, and they were completely open. They didn't even score. I'm speechless. After a game, everyone's level is clear at a glance. Jojun, Yuxian Yang, and Zheng Wei, who performed fairly well, complained in their mouths, with an expression of if it wasn't for the teammates being too good, they would have won. Zhao Yuanhao and Wu Shi fell behind. Wu Shi's level was higher than Zhao Yuanhao's, but he didn't play today, so Zhao Yuanhao didn't talk about it. He was half level. The two looked at each other and smiled helplessly. As for Li Guangmao and Wang Hongfei, they can basically be ignored, because they didn't play for a few minutes together, and they didn't show any performance. Others didn't even bother to complain about them. Hearing the complaints of several people, Chuan Yu frowned. Fatty did not play well, and his bragging was not appropriate before. He is responsible for the loss, but it is definitely not his responsibility alone. If you lose, you lose. Isn't it good for you to push all the blame on your teammates like this? Chuan Yu stood up and looked at Jojun and the 3 coldly. Seeing that Chuan Yu still blamed himself, Yuxian Yang immediately lowered his face. What's the matter with you? Besides, did I say something wrong? Chuan Yu said, You're right, Zhao Yuanhao deserved to be slapped in the face, and he did lose a lot of balls. But you also missed a lot, right? You missed 4 consecutive 3-pointers and made a quick layup. You can also miss it. With your performance, you are ashamed to criticize others. Immediately, Yu Xianyang's face darkened. But he hasn't issued a rebuttal yet, because what Chuan Yu said is the truth. He missed 4 3-pointers in a row, and he insisted on shooting if he couldn't make a 3-pointer. It's just that Chuan Yu didn't go to watch the game. The faces of Jojun and Zheng Wei next to him also became gloomy. Just as they were about to speak for Yuxian Yang, they heard a voice behind them. What are you doing here? It was Lu Gang, the head teacher. Teacher Lu. Teacher. The crowd cried. It's going to be late for self-study soon. Why don't you go back to your seat and sit down quickly? Teacher Lu scolded, and after a few people sat down, he said again, if you lose, you lose. We can find the reason when we come down, but we don't need to make excuses. As he spoke, he glanced at Jojun a few times. Although we lost today, there are winners and losers on the field, and we just have to work hard to win the next game. Several players responded, Yes, teacher. Teacher Lu waved his hand. Let's study by yourself. Originally, the teacher wouldn't come to the first class of evening self-study, but today he lost the game, and he planned to encourage the players, but what he heard was complaining about his teammates and shirking responsibility. This disappointed him. Before leaving, Mr. Lu glanced at Chuan Yu again, and secretly said it's a pity. Chuan Yu is not short, but it's a pity that he can't play. After the head teacher left, everyone started whispering. Jojun, Zheng Wei, and Yuxian Yang got together again. They didn't know what they were muttering. Chuan Yu didn't care. He just advised Zhao Yuanhao, Fatty, don't fight in the next round. Since Jojun and the others are so capable, let them go all right. Zhao Yuanhao grinned and said, That won't work. I've already signed up to participate. There's no reason to be a deserter halfway. If you can beat it, you have to fight it. If you can't fight it, you still have to fight it. For a moment, Chuan Yu was stunned. Finally, he patted the fat man on the shoulder without any further persuasion. In the next few days, Class 8 played 2 more games, one against Class 4 and one against Class 19. Without exception, they all lost. This made Class 8 very depressed. There are a total of 4 games in the group stage, and they have lost 3 games, which is basically equivalent to being eliminated. As for the remaining game, the opponent is Class 3. Now Class 3 is number 1 in Group B. With Xiao Qinjiang's almost unstoppable performance, Class 3 is now 3 wins and 0 losses. On Friday, Chuan Yu took half a day off to attend an appointment. Arriving at the old stadium, Yang Mingxian has already arrived. "Let's go." Yang Mingxian greeted Chuan Yu with a smile. When the two came to the road, a car was parked by the side of the road. Yang Mingxian opened the door and motioned for Chuan Yu to go up, and then introduced to him that his second uncle was driving the car. Chuan Yu obediently called uncle. "After driving for more than an hour, I left Jiangning City and came to Dongyuan City." "Where are you going? How did you go so far?" Chuan Yu asked strangely, not because he was worried that Yang Mingxian would sell him, but because he was curious. He, you'll know soon," Yang Mingxian said. Sure enough, after another 10 minutes, the car stopped. The three got out of the car together. Looking forward, Chuan Yu couldn't help being surprised. There was a huge building in front of him. The shape was a polygonal structure, and the upper part protruded outward, which was very shocking. In the middle is a row of stairs, extending upwards, leading to the main entrance of the huge building, with a few large characters hanging above the building, Dongyuan Gymnasium. "Stylish, isn't it?" Yang Mingxian said. "This is the home arena of the Dongyuan team, the champion of the CBA last season. Let's go in and have a look later." "Go in." Chuan Yu was surprised. Yang Mingxian explained, "It's still the off-season and there are no games in the arena. My second uncle found a relationship and let us go in and take a look." As he said that, he glanced at the arena and said longingly, "I heard that the Dongyuan team's new arena is about to start construction, and it will be the largest and most modern CBA arena in the country, modeled after the NBA arena. Designed to scale. Tisk tisk, I must go and see it later." An NBA-sized arena? Chuan Yu couldn't help but look forward to it. He hadn't seen a CBA game live, nor had he seen a CBA stadium, let alone an NBA one. The second uncle parked the car and chased after him, and said with a smile, "Come on, let's go in." Since they had already greeted each other, the three of them entered the arena smoothly. This is a multifunctional venue. Not only has a basketball court, a training ground, but also supporting facilities such as player locker rooms. The locker room is not allowed to enter, only allowed to visit in the main stadium. Entering the competition venue, what you see is rows of chairs, and a beautiful basketball court in the middle, with wooden floors, professional basketball hoops. Tempered glass backboards are also spotless, clean, and bright, and there is a large screen TV in the middle. "How about it? Isn't it beautiful?" Yang Mingxian said. Chuan Yu's eyes lit up. "This is the most beautiful basketball stadium I've ever seen. It must be a great feeling to play here." Although this arena is not comparable to the NBA arena on TV, it is luxurious enough for Chuan Yu, who has never even played a game. Stepping on the floor, there is a feeling like being in the clouds. He has never tried to play in such a beautiful arena. "Ha ha, then try," Yang Mingxian said with a smile. "Is it possible?" Chuan Yu was looking forward to it. Actually, it is possible. It is not only used by the CBA team for games, but also rented out when there is no game, but the fee is relatively high. The two walked onto the court and had a great time. "Come on, one-on-one. Come on. This time you lose." That's not necessarily true. I remember that you were the one who lost last time. Last time, I released the water, and I didn't use my full strength. To tell you the truth, I didn't try my best. The second uncle sat on the side, looking at the two cheerfully. He was very optimistic about his nephew. He had shown outstanding basketball talent since he was a child, and his mind was more mature than his peers. Famous talent player. The future is limitless. Seeing his nephew and Juan playing heads up, and Juan didn't lose at all, the second uncle was a little surprised that this little guy named Juan was so powerful. No wonder Mingxian values him so much and wants to bring him along. 2 hours later, the second uncle reminded the two that it was almost time. Although you can come in to visit and even play, there is a time limit, only 2 hours, and you have to leave when the time comes. Juan was still a little unfulfilled, and felt that time passed so fast. It seemed that he had only played for a while. Why, it was only 2 hours. While packing up his things, Yang Mingxian suddenly asked, Juan, do you have a dream? Dream? Juan was taken aback. There was light in Yang Mingxian's eyes, and he said, my dream is to win the National High School Basketball League Championship, and then work hard step by step to become a professional player. If I can become a CBA player, I can play in such an arena. Under the watchful eyes of countless spectators, we will compete against the masters of CBA. Is this his dream? Become a professional player and play CBA. Thinking of this, Juan couldn't help but said, I haven't watched the CBA game, and I must come to watch it live if I have the opportunity. But I have watched a lot of NBA game videos, and my favorite is Kobe of the Lakers. Going up against a player like Kobe, it's going to be great. NBA. Yang Mingxian was stunned, dumbfounded. You really dare to think I said that my dream is to play in the CBA, and you thought of the NBA? Why, you still want to play in the NBA? That is the sacred place in the hearts of basketball players. There is no one who loves basketball and wants to become a professional player who does not look forward to and yearn for the NBA. It's a pity that those who can land in the NBA are rare after all. Juan was still in a trance until he left the arena. This trip to the CBA arena brought him a great shock. It was already afternoon when we returned to Jiangning City. The second uncle invited Juan and Yang Mingxian to eat KFC, and then sent Juan to the gate of Middle School. Yang Mingxian got out of the car and bid farewell to Juan. He patted Juan's shoulder and said, don't waste your talent. Basketball is a 5-person sport and a team sport. Don't play alone in the future. Go to the National High School League. That's your stage. There are many masters there, masters stronger than me. I believe that you will be able to shine in the high school league. I will wait for you in the national competition. When that time comes, I will go all out and compete with you on the field. Hearing these words, Juan's heart was shaken. He instinctively wanted to refuse, but he couldn't come out of his mouth. In the end, he hummed in a strange way. Let's go. Yang Mingxian turned around with a smile. See you in the national competition. Goodbye. Juan waved goodbye. I don't know if this goodbye is a national competition or a farewell. Until the car disappeared, he was still standing there, with many inexplicable emotions in his heart, like a flood that suddenly opened the gate, just like that. Senior 1, 8, class. As soon as he entered the classroom, Juan felt that the atmosphere was not right, and couldn't help asking Zhao Yuan how, Fatty, what's going on? The atmosphere is not right. Zhao Yuan how smiled wryly and said, just now the head teacher came, let us fight hard tomorrow, and let everyone go to cheer for us. We want to fight hard, but tomorrow's opponent is Class 3. I heard that Class 30 has something to say yes, at least dash points to beat us. Juan was taken aback. Is tomorrow going to be against Class 3? The last game of the group stage. What do you mean by old class? Is it possible that you are still expected to win Class 3? Juan asked. It's not that he looks down on his own class, but that he has watched Class 3's games from afar, which is much better than Class 8's. Of course not. The fat man said, "It's just to let us lose a little less. It's better to lose by more than 10 points. Anyway, if we can't really let the opponent win by 30 points, it will be a big embarrassment." Chuan Yu thought about it, and felt that the other party's claim of winning 30 points was really not bragging. After all, for Class 8, Xiao Qingyang from Class 3 was invincible, and besides Xiao Qingyang, everyone else in Class 3 was no weaker than Zhou Jun and Zheng Wei. And even stronger. Xiao Qingyang, plus a few other players from Class 3, against the half-level gang in Class 8, it is really possible to win by 30 points. At this time, Chuan Yu suddenly remembered the words Yang Mingxian said before leaving, and his heart throbbed, but he didn't say much. On the other side, Class 9, Senior 2. Zhou Xiao saw that an Xian was revisiting the freshman class competition schedule again, and was still writing and drawing on it, and asked curiously, "Are you still watching? That person hasn't been found yet." "Yet," an Xian said depressedly. "After a few days, the group stage is almost over, and each class has played at least 3 games. Normally, if he is a freshman in high school, he shouldn't not participate. Even if he doesn't, at least you want to watch the game. But I didn't see any shadow. It's weird." Although she only saw a figure from the back, and Xian was very impressed. She believed that if she saw it again, she would definitely recognize it. But after a few days, nothing was found. Zhou Xiao thought for a while and analyzed, could it be that he is not a freshman in high school, or not from our school? And Xian shook her head. It's possible that it's not the first year of high school. After all, there is no rule that the students of the second and third year of high school cannot have a cropped haircut. In fact, many students keep their haircuts for convenience. But the students in the second and third grades of high school have been studying for at least 1 year. If there are experts among these people, she should not have heard of them. As for other schools, that's unlikely. It was past 7 o'clock that day, and students from other schools would not appear in middle school. And an Xian saw that he was clearly running towards the teaching building, so he must be a student of middle school. This is also what makes an Xian depressed. She is convinced that the other party is a student of middle school, and most likely a freshman of high school, but after a few days of observation, she finds nothing. Could it be that this person has evaporated from the world? Zhou Xiao asked, "Then should we continue to look for it?" "Look for it?" An Xian gritted her teeth lightly. "I don't believe it yet. Even if I dig 3 feet into the ground, I will find him." Not only because she was shocked by that dunk, she was curious about that person. She must find that person, but also for the basketball team of middle school. The performance of the middle school basketball team in the past 2 years is really not very good. Although it is not a big fish, it is only a middle-lower team. As the leader of the basketball team, an Xian also watched anxiously. This year in the first grade of senior high school, several good seedlings have emerged, among which Xiao Qinjiang's talent is the most outstanding. Just one Xiao Qingyang is not enough. If the guy who smashed the rebound is added, an Xian believes that this year's middle school basketball team will rise and become a strong team. In a blink of an eye, the evening self-study is over. Chuan Yu left school and came to the old stadium. Putting the bicycle away and taking out the basketball, Chuan Yu jumped up lightly, with a flick of his wrist, but today he missed the shot, which is usually a surefire shot. Boom! The basketball bounced out of the frame. Call. Chuan Yu adjusted his breathing and shot again, but he still couldn't hit it. He always felt that he couldn't calm down. There was something inexplicable in his heart, like a raging wave, which made his heart hard to calm down and a little irritable. Yang Mingxuan's dream is to win the championship of the high school basketball league, and then work hard to become a professional player and play in the CBA league. What is my dream? For a while, Chuan Yu's mind was a little confused. On this day, he rarely gave up training, and when he returned home at night, lying on the bed, he couldn't fall asleep and suffered from insomnia. It wasn't until it was almost done that he fell asleep in a daze. As a result, I was called up by my mother after not sleeping for a while. It's almost 8 o'clock, and I still don't get up for school. Li Huilan shouted angrily with her hips on her hips. Ah, it's so late. Chuan Yu got up quickly. It's over, I'm going to be late. He didn't care about anything else, washed up in a hurry, and shouted to his mother, I won't eat anymore, picked up the book and ran. The bicycle pedaled on the road and flew up. But still late. It was inevitable to be reprimanded by the teacher, so Chuan Yu had no choice but to bow his head and admit his mistake obediently. When he got back to his seat, Zhao Yuanhao pointed at him and asked in surprise, What did you do last night? You didn't sneak off to surf the internet, right? Those dark circles. Before he finished speaking, Chuan Yu interrupted angrily, Shut up, you. I didn't go online. Don't blame me, it's just insomnia. Zhao Yuanhao looked curious. Why? Broke up in love. Miss you, uncle. I'm so in love. I'm not in love. I'm in love. What love is wrong? Being speechless towards this fat man, Chuan Yu simply stopped talking to him. In the blink of an eye, it was afternoon. The students of Class 8 rushed to the basketball court one after another. Zhao Yuanhao and Zhou Jun also changed their jerseys, but they all looked a little depressed. When I came to the basketball court, the people from Class 3 had already arrived. It's really early. This game, how to play. Seeing the people in Class 3, especially Xiao Qingyan, Zhao Yuanhao, and the others felt a little depressed. They could only smile wryly. They couldn't beat it at all. Of course, Teacher Lu, the head teacher, doesn't have high demands on them, just to lose a little less, but the problem is that they don't have much confidence and certainty in this regard. What? Zhao Yuanhao glanced at the outside of the court, suddenly a little surprised. Today the sun came out from the west, and this guy Chuan Yu actually came. Zhou Jun and Zhen Wei also saw Chuan Yu, standing in the crowd with other students from Class 8. He was 1.8 meters tall, so it was easy to spot. However, the reactions of several people were different. Humph. Yu Xianyang snorted, and said with a curled lip, We played 3 games, and we haven't come to cheer for us in 1 game. Today, he came in a situation where we were bound to lose in Class 3. This is a special run. Let's see how embarrassing we are, right? What are you doing with this kind of person? I'm angry with him, and he deserves it. As long as he's like that, he's not as good as that fat guy Zhao Yuanhao. Pooh. A few people were cursing, and they still remembered the day when Chuan Yu scolded them in public and made them lose face in front of the teacher. Zhao Yuanhao was very upset when he heard it. These people scolded him and Chuan Yu together, and couldn't help but said, Chuan Yu didn't provoke you, did he? It's necessary to say that about him. Several people looked at Zhao Yuanhao, curled their lips without cutting. What did they say? Since the first game, in the next 2 games, Zhou Jun, Yu Xianyang, and Zhen Wei have not passed the ball to Fatty. They obviously deliberately excluded him. The reason for not passing the ball is that it is useless to pass to Fatty. Chance. Teacher Lu also reprimanded them for this matter. Chuan Yu didn't hear what Zhou Jun said. He was observing the players in Class 3. The strongest in Class 3 is naturally Xiao Qingyan, who wears the number 15 jersey. He has been exposed to basketball since he was a child, and he is very talented. Far beyond others. Even, some people have called him the future star of No. Middle School's basketball team, even though he hasn't joined the basketball team yet. About 1.8 meters in height, with excellent jumping and explosive power, and fast speed, his style of play is biased towards small forwards. He has shots, and his breakthrough is not bad. After observing for a while, Chuan Yu already had a judgment on Xiao Qingyang. As for the others in Class 3, one is number 5 Jiangsu, and the other is number 9 Feng Zikai. These two are also good. Jiangsu is 1.7 meters tall and thin, but he is fast and has good ball handling ability. He works as a defender. Feng Zikai's height of 1.8 meters is not as tall as Xiao Qingyang, but obviously he is used to playing inside, and his shooting is average, but he is skilled in the low post. With his height and low post skills, he is still very lethal inside. Others are more average. Although the others are relatively average, only Xiao Qingyang, Jiangsu, and Feng Zikai are enough to crush the other teams in the first year of high school. Although Chuan Yu didn't go to the sidelines to watch the game before, he watched it from a distance by lying on the railing of the ladder a few times, and he was not ignorant of the high school team. At this moment, everyone looked in one direction. Senior in Xian is here. Senior in Xian. I saw an Xian and Zhou Xiao walking together. An Xian was still in a ponytail, simple and clean, without makeup. She wore a loose white t-shirt on her upper body, but she still couldn't hide her proud figure. The lower body is jeans, which wrap round and slender legs. As expected of a school belle. Chuan Yu also has to admit that the senior is very beautiful, with a slender figure, exquisite facial features, plus a height of just over 1.7 meters, and a gentle temperament. No matter in terms of figure or appearance, she is better than other girls. Too much overhang. An Xian looked at the field. In fact, she had seen players from Class 3 and Class 8 before, but she scanned it again, and she was not surprised, as she still did not see that person. Sister. From an Xian's point of view, Zhou Jun, Yu Xianyang, and Zhen Wei subconsciously straightened up. Even Zhao Yuanhao was no exception. Xiao Qingyang on the other side stared at an Xian without blinking. It's a pity that he was disappointed again. The expected four eyes met, but the tenderness did not appear. An Xian's eyes were very flat. She scanned the field, and a look of disappointment flashed in her eyes. From the beginning to the end, her eyes did not stay on Xiao Qingyang. Why? Xiao Qingyang was a little unwilling. I have performed so well in these few games. I averaged 30 points per game in 3 games. Who else can compare with me in the first year of high school? Even the second and third year of high school are not as good as me. Why does the senior sister come every time? But it never stayed for me. Since it's not for me, why do you come every time? Of course, an Xian didn't notice it at all, and she didn't care about Xiao Qinjiang's feelings. She was just a little disappointed that she still couldn't find that person. Just when she was about to leave, she suddenly saw Chuan Yu.